This is the kind of stuff that just really, really annoys me. This is effectively a microcosm of why I cannot stand the left right now. I'm going to be linking to a channel for the person I'm talking about so that you can watch their videos about this, because they go into far more detail than I want to for this video. But the long and short of it is, this dude, who did not have a Reddit account, he makes lore videos for Warhammer and Warhammer 40k. And there is a subreddit called 40k lore. Gee, I wonder what they do. And they banned any discussion of him. They aren't banning the person, though they kind of have. They're banning any mention of his name. Why? Well, because that offends them. He's done horrible, nasty, dirty things, which they don't bother to show any evidence of, and he upsets them. Or I should say, he upsets a certain segment of their user base who screams Nazi as soon as they get upset. Gee, I wonder what that sounds like. So they are tired of dealing with that, so they've just banned all mention of him. And then went on to basically engage in what, especially people on this side, would consider a harassment campaign against him just before the banning of him and any mention of him. So what because I'm not exaggerating. It was a giant, this is your last chance to give a giant fuck Arch Warhammer and to insult him as much as you like and to do horrible, nasty things to him. And I know this is completely biased. I absolutely know this is completely biased. This has nothing to do with be respectful, rule number 1, and rule number 6, no politics, because they're breaking their own rules all the fucking time. And in their initial post about it, they said that it had been an unwritten rule to say anything positive about him. Not it had been an unwritten rule to say nothing about him. No. You could say bad things about him, but the second you said something good, that was breaking the rules. So this is absolutely biased against a dude that's a centrist and is willing to call out the left for all the shit they do, much as he's willing to call out the right for all the shit they do. Because the left does not seem to understand what cleaning house means, and they get upset anytime they're shown in a bad light. The right laughs it off now. It's so weird. It's an inverse from 20 years ago, but I'm going to get into that in a minute. So they then went on effectively what was a giant spree of breaking their own rules and what people on the left would consider a harassment campaign against him. So he went, okay, you're going to do that? Fine. I'm going to use your own standards against you. And I'm going to report you to Reddit, because this is breaking Reddit proper's rules, what you're doing right here. So then and I know that they didn't give a shit, because he mentioned that in his second video. His first video, the person who made that post made an edit. Lol, look at this crybaby, lol. And then after the second video, that's when they started closing down threads like nobody's business. Why would they lock them, you might ask? Well, funny little thing about Reddit. If you lock a thread on Reddit, you make it so that you can't report that thread or the people in the thread anymore. And after Arch's second video, a lot of people were reporting it, I'm sure, so they want to make sure they didn't get in trouble for that. They have rules that they then go out of their way to break. But if you break them, you can bet your ass you will be in trouble. If you break a a rule that they just make up, but you broke it like 5 years ago, you will be in trouble now for having broken the new rule that exists now but didn't exist 5 years ago. And it's this absolute bullshit double standard crap that I cannot stand from the left. They do this all the fucking time, and this is just a perfect small scale example of this. They make these insanely obtuse rules, and then they have no issue breaking them, but should you even come close to breaking them, you will feel the wrath of God. It's just so fucking annoying dealing with this crap every single time. Obama does something, oh, he's the greatest man to ever exist. Trump does the exact same thing. Hitler! I am just getting tired of being the reasonable and understanding centrist, holding myself to standards when nobody else is. I complained about when the right was doing this some 10 or 20 years ago. The right has gotten better, or at least they're better at fucking hiding it. The left is now the one doing this, so I complain about the left. And I'm a Nazi for it. There's another thing. If you insult us, this is harassment, but we can call you Nazis and punch you. There's another double standard that I love. I am losing what little patience I have left, and this seems to be getting worse and worse. I know this gets said all the fucking time, but every goddamn day they prove it more and more accurate. If it weren't for double standards, the left wouldn't have any standards at all. I want to know if they even realize this is what's going on. Walls are bad, they say behind their gated fucking communities. I'm so tired of all of this. Of trying to be the good guy that holds himself to a level of moral and ethical standards. And the left screams about it, but is happy to break it at a moment's notice, as long as it's convenient for them. I would like to think most of society sees this. I can't imagine that this makes the left look good, and yet they continue to do it. They go out of their way to do it. It's unbelievable. I would like to believe that eventually this is going to come back to bite the left in the ass. But we live in an age where if you scream and rant enough, you're given whatever the fuck you want. So I don't fucking know anymore. We live in an age where corporations are bowing down to Chinese censorship while living in America and headquartering in America and enjoying all the luxuries that America offers to these businesses to keep them here. If it weren't for fucking double standards, none of these assholes would have any standards at all. And I am fucking tired of it. It's been Math Machine just being really fucking fatigued and just fed up with this bullshit. Peace out.